Hey, so last week the Bureau of Labor Statistics really threw us a curveball Friday with their employment numbers. We're going to dig into that a little bit deeper and show that they may not quite be what they said on the surface. Also, we're going to take a look at the inflation numbers that came out this week and other headlines. Welcome to this week's Mortgage Minutes with Mitch. I am Mitch Jenkins, Senior Loan Officer with Your Home Financial. So last week, the BLS gave us a report of 336,000 jobs added in the month of September. However, our good friends at MBS Highway took a little bit of a deeper dig into those numbers and shared some information that I think is important to know. So first off, out of those jobs, 70,000 were teachers going back to work. So it's really not adding jobs, that's just welcoming back some teachers who already had jobs to their employment. And then about 20,000 of those were in retail. Now the Challenger Job Cut report actually shows that retailers across the country are laying people off. So it's odd that we added 20,000 jobs when another report is saying that those numbers are going down across the country. Also, leisure and hospitality, which has been a major driver of these jobs with everything opening back up since COVID. So year over year, that has shown tremendous growth. However, the occupancy rates are down across the board in hotels. So it's kind of hard to fathom that they're still adding employees when the occupancy rates are down. So at the end of the day, what they found was we actually lost about 856,000 jobs in the month of September. But the BLS did a seasonal adjustment to their figures and added 1.2 million jobs to the bottom line number. So that's how we end up with a positive number of 336,000. So do what you want with that information, but that's what's really going on beneath the surface. Now this week, first we had the producer price index numbers come out a little bit hotter than expected. So we were expecting a 0.3% increase, came in at 0.5. So that hurt. Now, what's more important though is the consumer price index, what you and me are actually paying at the retail level. Now that came in at 0.4, also on a budget of 0.3, so again, a little bit hotter than expected. Now I want to dive into a little component of this, thanks again to our friends at MBS Highway to break this down. Now, vehicle insurance accounts for about 3.5% of the core inflation. Doesn't sound like much, but 3.5% is a pretty big piece of this overall puzzle. So just car insurance alone accounts for that much of the core inflation number. Now, that is up 19% year over year. We're paying almost 20% more on car insurance than we were a year ago. Big reason why is Hyundai and Kia, which have horrible records for being able to keep people out of your car. So if you have one of those vehicles, I'm sure you know car theft is rampant. It's at a 15-year high, mainly because of those two brands. So that is causing everybody else's insurance to go up. That component of core inflation is reading about 0.7 higher than it would be had that number been taken out. So what I mean by that, or what does that break down to? Well, core inflation is at 4.1% year over year. If you remove vehicle insurance and that increase that it's had in our pockets, that would drop it to 3.4%, a lot closer to the 2% target the Fed is after. So raising interest rates by the Fed has no effect over this piece of the overall inflation number. So you cannot just make policy or increase rates and fix all of it. Some components of inflation are going to do what they do regardless of what the Fed does. So they have to take that into account. More and more members of the Fed are starting to see things like that and realize, you know what, maybe we should let things ride and not keep raising interest rates. So we'll find out next month. As far as next week goes, not really any major market movers as far as headlines. Doesn't mean there won't be any. As always, I'll be here to keep you informed. So let me know how I can help. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.